So the procedure that you're talking about to stop this spear phishing, is it something that's cost prohibitive, or is it something that can be done with like a reasonable budget to stop that from happening?
No, it's not cost prohibitive at all. And as a matter of fact, what's really interesting about it is that a lot of the Broward County agencies actually had it in place. And in some cases, some of the offices that are sort of independent because they have an elected official at the head of the office and they're independent of the county commission. Some of those offices do their own thing, and they, but they certainly had the opportunity probably to piggyback off of whatever contract the county had to get that system put in place. And for whatever reason, they just didn't put it in place for the supervisor of elections office. And it's just, and honestly, it's because the people in charge at the time didn't see the need or didn't feel like there was a reason to do it. So I'll tell you, a lot of what cybersecurity has to do with, a lot of it really has to do with understanding the nature of the threats that are out there. And once you know what the nature of the threats are, then you know what to do and what not to do in order to keep yourself and your own system safe. Some of the stuff is just simple, like change your password every 90 days and use a complicated password, and don't install stuff that you don't know where.
So Joe, you're the tech guy, but I'm telling you, like every time you go somewhere, everything you log in, they want you to get a password. We can't keep up with all of them, and because they also tell you don't write the password down. So it's like you want me to change my password every 90 days, and I can't write it down. It's too much. So what can we do besides that? Because everybody wants you to have a password, and then they tell you make sure all your passwords aren't the same. I'm like, are you kidding me? I already have like 50 accounts that all of them need a different password. Who can keep up? So what can they do to also have that level of security, but not have people having to remember a different password every 90 days. And then on top of that, you can't use the one that you used the last 2 times. Like, come on, Joe, help us out.
Last 10 times. But yeah, so I'll tell you, I think, I think biometrics are really the answer to that. I like a lot of the stuff that's coming out, and what I would do, as long as we can make it fit the budget, I would try to get some sort of system where people can use their fingerprint to log into systems. You really can't beat that. You get something like that in place, and you don't, that's better than any password you could ever use.
Okay, so with fingerprinting.
Yeah, so that's personally, I'm all for, putting the biometrics in place. I think the prices come down quite a bit on those systems to where it's something that pretty much anybody can use at this point.